Contender Series is here, and we're already at week 6. Guys, I'm kind of getting sad because we're already over halfway through, and when the Contender Series ends, we won't get to spend this extra time together every week, so that's a bummer. But we are here today, so let's rejoice. Let's break down this fight, shall we? We have Casey Tanner. He is taking on John Matsumoto. Both of these guys are undefeated and 5-0 in their last 5 fights. This should be a fun matchup. I do like this one quite a bit, and I actually had a hard time picking in this matchup for a couple of reasons. We'll go over that right now. For Casey Tanner, he's a good wrestler. He's got very powerful takedowns. When he goes for those takedowns, he's gonna use that strength as well as that skill to get that takedown to the mat. He's got good scrambling abilities as well. If he doesn't end up in the right spot, he can scramble to that position, or if you create some space, he's willing to get there. He does sometimes have a hard time keeping people in the position that he wants them when they are skilled off their back. However, his scrambles are pretty good, and you can often regain that position. He's got good ground and pound volume. That's an important thing because he just keeps those punches flying. And I think that is partially why sometimes guys can create some space, is because when you're throwing punches, it's pretty hard to maintain control. So sometimes he does have that. In the reverse, though, his takedown defense is pretty darn good, so he's hard to take down as well. Striking, let's talk about that. He's got decent striking. His kicks are some of his best weapons. He's got good leg kick, snaps it up to the head after he's hit you in the leg a few times. Good counter striking as well. Keeps a nice tight guard right up top here. But he's a bit stiff, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know how he can be a decent counter striker and also be stiff. It doesn't make any sense. But you see it at times where he's just a little bit too tense and a little bit too stiff. For me, it's not the biggest issue because he's been fine with it so far, but it's there. When we look at the Matsumoto side, for Matsumoto, the dude's got good grappling. He's got a very powerful double leg takedown, very similar to that of Tanner's. He's got a powerful double leg takedown. His sweeps are there if he ends up on bottom, which does happen quite a bit because sometimes he is willing to work off of his back for a bit too long. So if he has to get those sweeps after a while, after he's worked from the back a little bit longer than he should, but it's never really cost him yet. He does have a pretty good arsenal of chokes. He works from different chokes, different styles, front chokes, taking the back, going for the chokes there. Whatever he's got to do, he's looking for the choke. He doesn't spend a ton of time going for joint locks, has the option, but he's more of a choke artist. Now, that sounded like he chokes. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Either way, dude's got good striking. He does have good countering ability as well. His leg kicks are also pretty solid. I do like the front kick up the middle. That's something that he does a little bit different than Tanner. And then also, he's very durable. But how do we know that he's durable? Well, because we've seen him take a lot of damage. So that is something to note there. The cardio is there, though, and because of the pace that he puts on and the fact that he's able to hold it on, keep going, and keep coming forward, that cardio is pretty gosh darn good. So for me, this matchup here, I've got to go with the guy who is younger, has double the experience, more than double the experience, and I think is just a little bit more well-rounded in his tool set at this point in Matsumoto. But I do see a path to victory for Tanner, and I almost picked Tanner in this matchup because I could see a world where Matsumoto gets stuck playing off his back just a little bit too long, and the volume of the punches from Tanner kind of lands, and while Matsumoto's looking for that submission, well, he's giving up minutes, and he's getting hit, and he's not getting rocked or anything, but he is getting hit, and I could see the judges scoring 2 rounds for Tanner, and then next thing you know, oh shoot, it's the 3rd round. Matsumoto comes out like a head of fire or whatever. I don't know if that's a saying. Whatever. He comes out with just head of steam. That's what I was looking for. And he's trying to get the finish, and it just doesn't come. And then Casey Tanner wins the decision. I thought that might be a case, and I was this close to picking him. But I do think Matsumoto has to be the side here. I do think there's a reason he's the favorite, and I think that's because he does have that skill set. So let me know what you think, though. I love hearing your guys' opinions. If you are on the Tanner side, I'd love to know why. If it's because he's a friend of yours, which we've been seeing a lot in the comments lately, hey, that's totally cool. I would never fault anybody for picking their buddies. But let me know and like the video on your way out. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.